Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the VR Link. How are you doing? Look, we've got guests.
Yo!
We've got guests, yeah.
Yeah. What's up, y'all?
What is that?
Nice.
How's it going?
Hey.
Welcome, everyone, in the live chat to Season 2, Episode 19 of the VR Link, your weekly podcast where you can find us live every Wednesday on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. On this show, we discuss the latest games, news, and goings-on inside virtual reality. My name is GT from Gamertag VR, and alongside me is my co-host, Matt from BMF. How you doing, dude?
I am excellent, excited as all heck because of something we're going to talk about in a minute.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as you can see, we are joined this week by Alex VR and Skiva. They are from Between Realities podcast. They also do their own channels as well. How you doing, guys? You good?
So good. Thank you, man.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Thanks for having us, man. Super stoked to be here.
It's absolutely brilliant. For the audiophiles amongst you, I have been doing my best. We are up to date on all those fronts. Thank you. We're nearly on 300 listen backs a week now for this show. So thank you ever so much. So you're really enjoying the audio side of this as well, which makes it so worth it. So yeah, that can be available on Spotify, Apple, and Anchor. You can either search the VR Link podcast, or you can just hit one of the links in any of the videos. Thank you ever so much to all the legendary patrons and channel members whose names are listed below each and every episode of the VR Link. And if you enjoy the show and what you see, please consider joining them and supporting what we do here each and every week. Also, we have a Discord. It is now over 1,000 members, which is absolutely crazy. And before we get into the news and all that other stuff, we get a lot of our stuff from Upload VR, Road to VR, so be sure to follow them on your socials, because that is the nice way to stay on top of it, stay fresh with what's going on. And we've also got a Quest 2 giveaway. So yeah, do you guys want to talk about that quickly?
Skiva, why don't you?
Because it's not just a Quest 2, is it?
Absolutely.
Look at that.
256 gigabyte Quest 2, and there's an Elite strap down here too. So it's the real deal, guys. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. Whoever gets this is going to be stoked because it's a sick headset. And yeah, we're working with BMF and Gamertag and the Virginia Philosophy Reality Lab to give this away. And these guys are all about doing some great research on morals in VR and different decision making. They're going to do some really cool studies. So to support them, they actually donated this headset, and we're all here to help give it away. So.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, so the link to the Gleam giveaway is in this video description. You can also find it on any of these guys' socials as well. We're all very busy on Twitter. You know, if you don't follow us on Twitter, we're always on there, to be honest. I'm probably on there far too much. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, Twitter's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. It is actually a problem. So yeah, anyway, how's your week going? Let's start with Alex. How you been, man? You been good?
Dude, I'm great. Honestly, yeah, like things could be a lot worse, bro. I'm staying super busy, and I'm just completely immersed in the world of VR lately. It's been awesome. You know, like every now and then it kind of like goes like away from me a little bit, you know, kind of take a step back. I know BMF has been doing some PS5, so he knows what I'm talking about. But like lately I've like really been diving back in and cranking out videos for B Haptics and just staying super busy, dude, and loving every second of it, man.
Good stuff. Good stuff. What about you, Skiva? How you been?
I've been great, man. Been great playing some VR, playing some Population 1. Been upgrading my VR rig. Put a 3090 in there. And
how did you fit it in there, dude? How did you fit?
Dude, it's huge, man. It's huge. It's like the card itself weighs as much as my PlayStation 4. It's insane. I actually had to get like another rod to hold the card up so it won't snap the port off my motherboard. It's amazing.
Serious?
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. It's huge.
Wow. What about you, Matt? What have you been up to this week?
Oh, sorry. Did you say me?
Yeah, man. What have you been up to this week?
Sorry. Playing a lot of Contractors on the Quest, actually messing around. I know we jumped in and played some stuff together.
We did.
And I've been doing a lot of other stuff, messing around, taking far too much time editing, making intros and stuff. So I've been busy this week, mostly just working on some cool stuff.
Yeah, man. So if you don't follow BMF, he also done one, put like a little glimpse of his intro that'll be happening tomorrow for his contractor's video, and I thought it was exceptionally cool. I thought it was very good. It was really good. It's one of the best like little intros, because what he's done, he's basically in the game. He welcomes you as if he's saying hello in the game, and then he puts his hat up and it turns into the quest, and then he's back in his normal room. And I thought that was really cool because it shows you.
Slick.
Yeah. It shows you like where you are in VR and when you're not in VR, and it was really good. I thought it was really good.
Thank you.
So that'd be cool.
I had fun with it.
That'd be cool.
How's your week been, GT?
Oh, thank you. How's my week been? Same as you, man. Up and down. I've literally just made. So I've got a. I'm working nights, and nights for me are some of the worst things I can do for me because it sends my head all funny. Do you know what I mean? You're talking about ups and downs. I feel really down when I do nights. Doesn't work out for me at all. Using the G2 also made me feel a bit down today. So, that headset's a nightmare.
Dude.
I was like, honestly, I said to someone the other day, I could have drop kicked it out the window. I was like, this headset's doing my head in. Like,
well, I watched your video today, and you tried to use the G2, which is $1,000 headset, and then you eventually had to default to using the Quest 2, and it's like an absolute shame that you can't use this like top end VR headset for its intended purpose, and instead you default to using the $300 headset. Like that, I mean, I guess it speaks a lot for the Quest, and B, it says something about that.
There's a lot going on. Like Windows mixed reality, it's just an issue for me, to be honest with you. It is just an issue. Like, I think, as I've said before, when I done my review of the G2, I said I think I've been spoiled. I had PlayStation, like a game console VR experience. So it was turn it on, headset on. I know it's all, but everyone goes, oh, what about the wires? But forget the wires. It's already done. And you was playing a game, yeah? And then the Quest comes along. And the same thing. And even really PC and Oculus Home. Like you go into Oculus Home, for example, that is a fantastic place. I love being in Oculus Home. I've done charity streams where I'm sitting there eating sandwiches, talking to people, just looking at the environment. And yet Windows Mixed Reality, I just don't understand its purpose. I'm just, and yeah, and then you try and run games and stuff, and I've tried all sorts, dynamic resolution. I do wonder whether it's because I'm I hate the word, but a content creator. I do wonder whether the headset isn't that great for that particular purpose, because obviously you're trying to push amazing visuals along with other bits, trying to do a lot of stuff, and I don't know whether that's the problem. But yeah, so I tried it. I've unboxed it. I tried it again. It's a couple of times I've tried it. I don't want to walk away from it because I do actually like the headset. It's very comfortable. As I said, the visuals are absolutely outstanding. So yeah, man. That was today. Today was absolutely awful.
I guess
Really.
It comes down to whether you're willing to trade off the visuals for the having to deal with the Windows Mixed Reality stuff. I've never personally done anything with Windows Mixed Reality, but just from what you've seen and told me, what I've seen from other people, it's turned me off from buying a G2, even though I want to see that visual experience and see what it looks like. I'll just stick with my Quest 2 with how easy it is to jump in. It takes me 2 seconds to jump in and play pretty much anything.
Yeah, I used to have a Samsung Odyssey, and it looked great, but that Windows Mixed Reality tracking, man, every time I did anything, my hands were flying away off into the distance, and it was just weird, man, just weird stuff. It's like, Microsoft, you guys have some money. Put some money into this tracking, man. Just get some people, just make it happen.
I watched other people's videos before and after I'd done my review, and as I said, like, the visuals are amazing. Half-Life Alyx looked insane. Like, it is incredible. Like, you can't take that away. Like, it is the best way to see VR. Apart from the field of view, it's almost quite annoying to see that field of view, but still to see that level of graphics and then see the field of view still there. It'd be lovely if that had have gone along with that. But yeah, apart from that, that's it. Everything else is really not as good as anything else. It's just the display. It's just the display for me that is any better than anything else. And
Dang.
that's
you
all.
You brought up a good point though, GT, when you talked about the fact that you like have so many other things going on. I do think that that's one thing that we as people who make videos maybe forget sometimes, is like what we ask the devices to do is actually a little bit above and beyond what they're like graded to be doing. How often am I playing Beat Saber and I miss a block because I'm casting it? I'm like, oh man, but it's like, if I wasn't casting, it would probably be running fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And you could say that to a game as well. You can say about games, let alone headsets. There's games out there that haven't even thought about the social window.
Mhm.
And you know that because you saw games like, I think Pixel Rip was one of the first ones I come across where you could have like a smooth camera. So the social thing was like nice and smooth, and you could change the field of view. Like, to me, that is standard stuff on flat games. If you play Call of Duty and you watch anyone streaming Call of Duty, they're not stuck at like 80 field of view. They're playing it at like 110 because it looks better. And I want that as well. You know, I want that for us to do our videos. So, you know, POP1. I think you can mess around with Oculus Mirror and stuff to make it better. And I'm quite happy with what I've got. But it would be nice just to go game capture. There's some settings. There we go. So, one day, we're in the early days. So yeah. But how's everyone in the chat? Thank you all for joining us. Hopefully I didn't go off on too much of a tangent there. I had a massive, basically I was going to say I had a massive cup of coffee, and I think that just powered my rant then. I was like hyped up on caffeine. We've got Dude Lightning, Mysterium, Magma Creamy. Thank you all for being here first. Space Roach, how's it going? Dark Angel, Dr. Oculus VR, Mark Potter, Halo Master 627. He says he's totally not in class right now. Fabstar. Nice. Lisa VR, Caleb, we've got Grumpy Dark, Dark Angel. Thank you for all the mods in the chat as well. Thank you for being here, protecting the channel, doing what you do best. Mighty Quinn, Evander Holyfield. I've had Batman. I've had all sorts of celebrities in this chat. What?
Nice.
Yeah, I think you've come across some famous people in your chats at some point.
Cool. Thanks for being here, guys. It's awesome to see all you guys here. I love this community, man. I really do.
We're very
you guys
lucky.
are my second family.
Definitely follow these guys, Skeever and Alex VR. You can find them easy enough. And Between Realities, if you're listening back to this again and you want to find them, I will add a link to their channel. And then, and I should have. Matteo says he's Batman. If Batman turns up, mate, he might not be happy with you saying that. Steve, how's it going? Jeff Bob, sadly it's Bradley. Nice. Okay, so today, massive. Probably, I've always said the Medal of Honor trailer is the best virtual reality trailer we've got. And then today they dropped the multiplayer.
See, you got the best single player trailer for VR, and this could be arguably one of the best multiplayer trailers for VR.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Has everyone seen it here? Have you all seen it?
I watched it once. I refrained from watching it multiple times because I wanted to watch it now.
Okay. Should we dive in, yeah? Let's dive into this trailer.
Yeah, you gotta show it.
That's oh. Right, and we're back. I might even have to play that again once more afterwards. It looked that train level.
Dude, The grenade catch, though,
I know.
that was the first thing I noticed. It's like, catch that thing and chuck it back. We'll see.
I've got no, like, in my mind, I think because of who's making this Respawn, I think this is going to be absolutely fantastic. I can see why people are worried about the multiplayer because of player base, but it's Medal of Honor. Like, you don't get Medal of Honor in VR often.
Yeah.
And they showed off that one, like, it was like a class, right? They like plant a bomb and you can defuse him and stuff. So that led me to believe that you can probably play, like, it's probably class based or something. And there's like the role that you'll fill in the team, you know, which I think class based multiplayer, first person shooter or otherwise, is severely lacking in VR. You know, I'm personally somebody who loves to fill a role in a team. So if I can have like my specialty, like that's something that will keep me coming back for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I take it you guys were all day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play the hell out of this.
Yeah, like I think it's gonna be one of the. See, that's the thing. I think on Twitter, some people were like, "What are you gonna do? What's gonna happen about Population 1? Will it be good enough to pull me away from Population 1?" Either way, at the moment, I would say that they are gonna be on like the two biggest games for multiplayer. Unfortunately, like for anyone else who's made one online in VR, I don't think have we had a game of this size with multiplayer yet, with this name and this brand. Have we had that before?
I don't think so. No, not that I can think of. Not with an IP like this. This would be a huge first.
We almost had it with The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Onslaught.
that's true.
Close.
Yeah,
Close.
yeah. What the hell happened to that?
No one knows.
Right? Yeah, that was a disaster.
Oh, dude.
Onslaught.
It was
Man.
awful. It was go on.
It was.
Here's a question for you. Watching that trailer back, and seeing the visuals in it, and I was looking at some comments on Twitter that were from somebody had posted. I think it was from Reddit, or it was either that or from Twitter. They were talking about specifics for visuals on the PC platform version.
Okay.
And I don't know about you, but the visuals in this, it looks good, but they seemed a little more toned down in the multiplayer than they did in the story mode trailer that we saw.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that that's because the goal is not necessarily to release the story mode on Quest 2 or Quest and to release multiplayer only, at least initially, so they can release it sooner and get a bigger player base?
No. I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, I mean, that is a big non-conspiracy theory. I don't think that happened because it depends. I mean, unless you priced it crazy, where you was just like, yeah, here's the multiplayer version of Medal of Honor, and it was half the price, maybe. But there's a lot of people out there who just want that deep single player, Medal of Honor experience. Whenever I talk to anyone about Medal of Honor, they never talk about the multiplayer. They talk about the single player. As
yes,
I think,
right. Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? And it looks like though, for us in VR, this is going to be a big call-in for a lot of people. I think. So yeah, you guys buzzing for this though, yeah?
Definitely.
What
I'm
about
stoked,
co-op?
man. You know, I used to play the heck out of Medal of Honor right from the very beginning, back in like, I think it came out, in 2000 or 99 or something like that. And it was like, I remember it was the first game where you could go prone and like lay down on the ground and like, so yeah, man, I'm itching for this. I really am. It's going to be exciting. And I think, you know, the visual style kind of looks like they are considering a Quest build, you know, and with Oculus pumping money into this, they have to be. So
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It kind of looked to me like that might have like I mean, it had a very like cinematic style. You know, it was obvious that what was happening there was definitely like choreographed, but it honestly to me looked more like it was like a co-op experience or something. I know it's not because of, you know, the death match and the domination and all these things, but I don't know. It looks to me like they could easily slap in some kind of little like PvE multiplayer experience where you can, like, you know, shoot at bots together or something. Maybe another good way to elaborate on the multiplayer for Medal of Honor.
So what we haven't really got any information though, have we, on how many players is in the game. We've seen Deathmatch, Mad Bomber, and Domination. I think they're the three game modes we've got, and even that's coming a long way. Even that is a big deal for VR. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got, character classes. And these things are important because they raise the bar. And I feel sorry for some indie developers who, you know, they haven't got that. And even bigger developers, like with Firewall, it was always a bit of a struggle. You know, because I remember playing the game, and you couldn't, for example, you couldn't rename your character class. And I was like, why can't I rename my character class? Because I've always, every game I play, my first one will normally be assault rifle when it would have its own like kind of unique name. And I missed that. And then it was rounds weren't there, and there was all these little things. This actually looks like a traditional multiplayer shooter, but in virtual reality. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I feel you. Like really has that like AAA polish and expectation.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we've been missing from VR for a long time, really. VR has long been the scene of indie games, which is great. I love indie games. I think that they need a lot more support. But as we see it grow, VR grow, we're going to see that a lot more, like on consoles, for instance, or PC, where you've got these AAA big name games that are pumping money into it, and they set the bar, and indie developers kind of have to play catch up. It's never really been like that for VR. Alex was really the first big one to do anything with a huge IP, and that really set a massive bar. That wasn't either indie or built by a team that was smaller, or wasn't a specific VR company. With Respawn moving into VR like this, I think what it's going to do is set a higher bar and hopefully bring other bigger companies in. I know that makes it harder for indie developers, but unfortunately, if we want VR to grow and go more mainstream, that's kind of what needs to happen.
That's exactly what needs to happen. You need to offer great experiences. You know, how many times have you tried a game and it's not optimized, or it's very expensive and it's very short, and all these little things that you basically want. I don't know about you guys, but I want like a PS5 style game in VR. That's all I want. You know what I'm saying?
Now, there is one that we haven't mentioned now, which I feel like gets glazed over so often in these conversations that I really want to bring a little bit of attention to. And that is Skyrim VR. Skyrim is incredible. Like, I don't know why people don't shout that game from the rooftops. It is a fully fledged AAA experience that is entirely in virtual reality, and I put 40 hours into it on my PSVR, you know, and that's with the move controllers, which are definitely not optimized, but I still was completely immersed. And even if you've played Skyrim, I still think it's worth it to play it in VR. And if you have never played Skyrim, you have no idea what you are missing if you do not play Skyrim in VR. It is that good.
I literally picked it up yesterday for £12 off Steam.
Dude, it's so awesome.
Nice.
Like, because I couldn't, like, where I've gone to the PS5 digital, which I actually do regret now. I was quite happy with it, but I sold my Pro with a shit ton of games, and I'm like, oh damn, like I haven't got Skyrim VR anymore. That was the one, and you're right, Alex. Absolutely, that was one of those. That was a big game. And Doom as well. We have had brands. We have had big games. We have actually. You are right.
But none of those had like the one, you know, the first person campaign where you can go through and just do it all yourself, or then go into multiplayer, hang with your buddies, do all that stuff, but then have multiple game modes on top of the multiplayer. So I feel like this Medal of Honor, man, is going to have like all the pieces that a AAA game, something like a PlayStation 5 game would normally have. So
yeah,
man, I'm excited.
Matt, you was going to say something. Did I butter you out? Sorry, man.
No, I don't think so. Maybe I was, but I can't remember now.
But like going from, and I'm not trying to trash PSVR at all, but honestly, going on PC to from PSVR was incredible. Like it was like Alex said. I suddenly thought to myself, "Wow, dude, I feel like playing this game all over again." It was like that moment of amazement. So yeah. Just got to give me a second here, guys, if you can cover for a second, because it looks like someone is attacking my internet. So give me a moment.
God.
All
So
right.
this is a good opportunity. So Skiva and I, before we came onto the show, we were chilling in Mateo 311's live stream. He's been doing these 2-hour live streams where he just sits in front of his computer, just him, and basically does a one-man show and talks to his chat. And it's great. He has an awesome community, and he probably brought up this podcast like 5 times while we're sitting there chatting. And he definitely, when he found out that we were going to be on it today, he was promoting the crap out of it. And I noticed he was in chat today. So I just wanted to shout him out and also let you guys know that he's knocking on the VR Links door. Mateo wants in the exclusive club.
Oh, what's happened? Oh,
Mateo wants in. Mateo wants in. That's what I'm
do you know what? Pete Paradise Decay messaged me privately, and he said to me, "Mateo thinks you don't like him," and I was like, "What?"
Mateo, he said the most perfect thing when he wrapped up the stream. He was like, thank you guys so much for supporting me. It means a lot to me because if you didn't, then I wouldn't get any dopamine and I'd cry myself to sleep at night. That's perfect.
Man.
Like that is the perfect explanation of Mateo. Like he just needs the attention. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I will
we love you, Mateo.
Yeah, man. So normally I get it's normally developers or podcast people is who I get on. That's pretty much what it's always been. It's always been like that.
Well, there it is. That's
yeah.
the rule. That's company policy. So
yeah, for sure.
company policy.
Oh no, I've lost it. I think we got a donation from Scott Merrill earlier, so thank you ever so much for that super chat, dude. I feel like I missed out saying thank you. It was right up there in the chat. Yeah, so and someone is still plaguing my internet. It's quite crazy that I go out to my family and I say to them about it, and yeah, and then suddenly it just goes again.
We weren't supposed to play the news thing before we did Medal of Honor, were we?
No, I am going to do it.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
No, yeah. I just need to make sure I'm not downloading anything though. I don't know what the show's looking like, but I'm getting like crazy spikes. Hopefully the stream's looking good.
It seems to be looking good.
Yeah, you look good to me.
Yeah, it looks good in the stream that I can see.
Thank you. So let's run the VR news reel. Full faces ready. That's it. This is serious. I just want people to know it's serious. This is good. Oh, it's fine. Good. Okay. So moving on. Who wanted to talk about Population 1? Matt.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm a little bit behind here, but I'm catching up right now. All right, so Population 1. Where are we at here? All right. So starting on December 3rd, which is tomorrow, they'll be starting a new event called the 12 Days of Chaos, which is a great name. It's going to add in new bonuses in-game and change the map to a winter-themed setting. Developers Big Box VR said it'll be Population 1's biggest event yet with double the rewards. Players will be able to collect 100 snowflakes spread around the map, and also boost points and gain rewards faster when playing with friends. The event begins on December 3rd and will run until December 14th, which I'm excited about this. I love Population 1, and snow just is going to make it even cooler.
The events are awesome.
Yeah.
It's like they did not, like, it's like they didn't stop at all. Like the game came out and then like, boom, instant update, like boom, instant patch. Like they are like, really, it feels like the world has never been stagnant, not even for a second.
They're
like
committed, man.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I
awesome.
Personally love to be incentivized to play through these kinds of systems. Like I like the battle pass system personally. I like earning my cosmetics rather than purchasing them, even though if it's a really cool one, I'll buy it. But personally, I'm going to flex the one that I earned by being in the top 10%, that really incentivizes me a lot to play. So I think it is awesome. I'm all about it.
What did you get, guys, out of the last event? Did you get the diamond or whatever it was, or the platinum?
Are you
diamond?
Who do you think you're talking to? You kidding me? I think it was like top. I think it was top 3%.
How dare me?
Not to take you down, Alex, but I got top 4% too. So.
I know who I'm talking to. I would never assume that you were anything less than that, Skiva. I would never do you that disservice.
That's amazing. Like I didn't even check what I was on that after a while. I haven't been in it. I've been so busy. I haven't been back in, unfortunately.
They haven't said what the new skin's going to be for the skin, have they?
No, there's some pictures though. There is some pictures. I didn't grab the pictures, but there is some pictures. If you want to,
is it that Roy skin?
What for the top? Oh, for the new one, for the new one.
Yeah.
For the,
Yeah,
for the,
Yeah, the Roy skin would be pretty cool. You know, the snow thing. Everyone wants you to be able to like track footprints and stuff. That'd be super sick. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I will tell you this, man. It was great when it went to fall, and then like it was fall in the game, and now it'll be awesome to see snow on the ground. It just looks beautiful from the screenshots. I'm really looking forward to it. So
I'm hoping that they do. I would pay for it too, either a snowman or a Santa skin. I would love. They got the scarecrow right now, or they did, right? So I'd love to have a Santa skin. Can you imagine running around and shooting at different Santas right?
Oh my god, that'd be funny.
His sack flapping on his back as he's flying through the air.
I can't even say on here what I wanted, what I tweeted, and I sort of
I saw what you tweeted.
I read it back and I thought, don't know if I should have put that, but I generally thought that'd have been pretty cool.
I want to take the Santa from that Weird Al song when the night Santa went crazy, and put that into the game.
So yeah, you've already obviously I was out of the room. Sorry. So you've mentioned there's 100 snowflakes to collect, which is fantastic. How many of the cubes was there? Was there like 20 something last time?
Was it 25 or 20? It was either 20 or 25, I think.
It wasn't. Yeah, maybe not even that many. Maybe like 15. I don't know. I don't remember.
I think it was 20.
Was it 20?
Yeah, could be wrong.
Yeah,
crazy.
But that was like enough to keep me going in every day to get that stuff. Let alone 100 snowflakes.
Right.
Like we need to look at that and just be like, wow. But I think the main importance is they haven't just put out a game and walked away.
Yeah.
There was obviously a board of we're going to launch this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that next, and that's what people want. That's what keeps players coming back. Is that style, you know, they want Fortnite in VR or that kind of game, you know, as you said about the content and stuff. Because initially, when some of us got early access, they never mentioned that there was any paid for content at all because the game is $20 or $25. So if a game is free, then I think cool, pay for content. But to be fair, once you get in there and realize that the cost of this stuff isn't that bad. You can earn coins for free, which is also nice. So that means people can grind and get some stuff. It's not like you can't get anything, and it doesn't affect your gameplay. It's all visuals. So I don't think it's bad at all. And in fact, I think what they've made so far looks really cool. Like I think there's some really cool stuff in there.
I love the corn maze. That corn maze is awesome.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
There was even this hilarious moment when I was playing with Eric for president, and like I made our teammate Tammy is his name, take our photo in like the cutout thing, you know, with like the banana and like the guy shooting at it, and like that like gave us this moment of just like hilarity and joy, like stopping the battle for a second, like stopping for a picture, you know. Like, I know it's like something minuscule, but it's still like adds some joy to us.
I have a huge problem with Population 1. And that is that it makes me not want to play any other VR games. All I want to do is play that stupid game, man. That's all I want to do. I'm always hitting people at Pop 1. I'm like a crackhead with that game. It's insane. So. Yeah,
it was. I think this game is I think you are going to get solos. I think you are going to get duos. I think you are going to get quads. I think all that stuff is going to come. And everyone I know has got it. Like, now, I'm sure you guys are the same. If anyone says, what game should I get on Quest? This is actually one of the first ones that pops into my mind straight away, is this.
Definitely one of the most value effective games, like with the most value when you buy it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this one of the first games, not just like on Quest, but on VR in general, to really do something like this right and have consistent updates like this? There's very few games that actually support the game moving forward and continually update, like on almost weekly to monthly basis with fixes, you know, with updates and stuff like that. It's got to be one of the few that actually has done it the right way.
I've only known Firewall was
that's the only one I was thinking of.
Yeah, it's Firewall. They really tried to push that. And then without, I didn't put it in the notes, but Solaris is getting their group update, I believe, this week. I think they said, was it this week?
Oh, good.
I didn't see the timeline, but I definitely said it was saw it was soon.
Yeah, if anyone could have a look at that quickly, but I'm pretty sure they added to the notes that they're going to do group, the hand thing, which I kind of did wonder whether they developed that game more for PSVR in the beginning or something, because having a fixed arm in VR, you did forget about it. But initially, I remember the first one went in and I was like, why can't I move my arm? It's really weird. I'd never come across a game where they forced my arm still. But yeah, they're changing that. They're adding that mode. They're doing the group thing, so they're listening. And I think that's what people are realizing. You know, you got to listen to the community and what they want. I think First Contact, Solaris is another game I don't think you should sleep on. I think that it's got its own very cool appeal. So yeah, and as those updates come, I think more people are going to be jumping in there as well. Because at the moment, a lot of people aren't playing Solaris or any other game because of POP1. As Steve was saying.
Well, if you could squat up in Solaris, like that was the biggest thing. They should not have released it without the squatting option, because if you're going to be multiplayer, you got to play with friends, man. I mean, you know, to me, it's a no-brainer. And I was calling it, you know, as OWC Solaris. I was calling it OHC, one-handed combat, because like I really did think that it was broken when I first got it. I almost refunded it, and I'm like, this is not tracking properly at all. But it is a super fun game. Super fun game.
That's crazy.
Squads, it'll be great.
I never thought of it like that.
I thought it was broken. I really did.
I never thought of that at all. Oh, that is quite funny.
You know who's doing a good job is In Death. I feel like coming.
Yep.
You know, like they're putting a lot into that, and that game is actually going to get haptics integration too, which I am extremely excited for.
Yeah,
I can't wait to try it.
You're absolutely right mentioning that. Super Bright.
Yep.
You are right. The developers.
That was the first game that I found that was better on the Quest than it was on the PC. I played the crap out of the PC version, and for some reason, the Quest version, they crushed it. They turned it into kind of a different game, and it's really good.
Dude,
really
I said that, and people disagree. Not people disagree with me, but people didn't believe me. I was like, the best way to play this game is Quest. But I think that about Super Hot 2 on the Quest 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, hands down.
You're right. You're right.
Quest 2, like, going from Quest 1 to Quest 2 with In Death 2 is incredible. Like the difference between the two, they sent some images over to me a little while ago, and it's incredible the difference between the two versions from Quest 1 to Quest 2. And the new update that they have coming out with the archery, like a static archery mode where you're standing there and it's almost like a wave shooter. It seems like it could be interesting, and it's one thing that I hope that they can eventually add even multiplayer into at some point. So you've got almost like an elven assassin type deal going on, but in the in-death world. That would be really cool.
Oh man, that's
for sure
what I need.
But
that's what I need.
Either way, we're talking about developers aren't sleeping on their games. They're not putting them out there and leaving it. You know, especially if they've got online content. And again, it's such a fantastic time to be in virtuality. It really is. And the Quest 2, Facebook stuff aside, if you've got an issue with that, there's nothing I can do about that. But that headset is just like putting a cap on. That's what I can't get over. It's one of those things like, you know, when I'm using PC VR and stuff, even the link cable makes things quite simple for me, really. I just stick the link cable in, bosh, I'm in, you know. One cable. It's like, it's all about...
my only gripe is the lack of the VR cover, which is coming for me any day now. So
same. Oh, Matt, have you got your Quest on you? You've got the white winter version, haven't you?
It's over there. No, it's across the room right now.
Is it huge or what, man? Because I'm really stoked to get it.
The winter one?
Yeah, like is it?
I can grab it if you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let me grab it just a second.
It looks like an amazingly comfortable sofa to go on your face.
Yeah, dude. I love VR cover. Like, I mean, they never paid me or anything. Like, I just love their stuff. It's super high quality. Makes the experience night and day for me using VR.
I was saying,
I agree completely, man.
They did a product on the Oculus Rift, and I didn't like it, and it was the first thing they ever sent me, and I was like, damn. And I put out a review and basically said, I don't like it. And I thought, I'm never going to hear from them again. And then they sent me like the version 2 of it. And I was like, wow. And it was better. And I was like,
all right, Matt,
that's amazing.
Break it down for us, dude.
All right. So there's the stock. There is the winter version. I love the coloring of the winter version to start off with. It is thicker padding for sure. You can kind of see there's the two right there. That's the skinny one too. There's the thicker padding you can actually use, but I don't use it because it seems to cut down on some of the field of view because your face sits a little bit further back. But I love this thing. I love the black one too, but the look of this one is just incredible.
It does. It looks sick.
They sent me. Where is it?
It's nice that they're not only doing like stuff that is purposeful, they're doing it so it actually looks good as well.
Yeah. They also sent me the silicone cover, which is red and matches the same color as this. which I don't have right here right now, but it's the same. It's, they have their silicone sweat cover so you can put it on. And it's the same color as this, so I could put it over this and the whole thing would be red, which is still pretty cool too. Total red against white looks really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
sure.
like the BMF color scheme, man.
Yeah, it is, right. Red. Yep.
It is very cool.
I have a VR cover for every one of my headsets, and I gotta tell you, man, I have my gripes, like everyone knows with Facebook, but the Quest 2, man, I want to sell my index. Like I have to force myself to use my index, and I rarely use it anymore because you throw on my Quest, I fire up virtual desktop, and everything looks amazing, and it's a very clear headset. If you have the right kind of Wi-Fi router, it is just a killer wireless experience, and being wireless just makes me not want to use wired anymore, no matter how good it is and no matter how much better the field of view is. It's just phenomenal. It really is.
Yep. That's why I think that if we ever get a version from either Oculus or any other company that is up to par with what the Quest can do, and then gives us a slightly wider field of view and integrated built-in wireless, it's going to just destroy everything.
So the Joker, thank you to everyone who's in the chat. Thank you. Obviously, it's very hard to keep up with the conversation, but the Joker has said, what VR games could I get that are not too intense for a new VR user? So what do you guys reckon on that one?
Beat Saber.
Beat Saber.
Beat Saber's
Excellent.
Any game where you're standing there, right, and things are happening. That's why Beat Saber is the perfect thing to put a new person in, because there's no motion sickness. You're standing in one place. There's footsteps on the ground, so they know where they're supposed to be standing. Everything's color coded. Very, very good game for first time.
Here's my advice. I've demoed literally hundreds of people in VR. My advice is put them in the tutorial. Don't just put them in a song. Let them play the tutorial first. It is crucial that they learn it the right way, and then turn no fail on, because people often feel the pressure of like failing or not performing well, and when you swing and miss and level fail and the song dies, like your momentum dies, that's like a sad moment. And it should be about the expression and connecting with it. So I would say run them through the tutorial and then put them on no fail for Beat Saber. And if you wanted another option, I think for the same reasons, Job Simulator is perfect, because you can't mess up in Job Simulator. You can't do anything wrong. You can't fail. And it's just a playground where you can just explore what you can do in VR. So I think either of those games are like cream of the crop for introduction.
The only games that my wife actually plays is Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator. She doesn't like VR other than that. It makes her motion sick. But those are the two games that she'll actually jump in and play.
I think any game where you are the controller kind of thing, where you haven't got motion controls, where you move around in it, like Spark. I thought that was a great game. You didn't need to move anywhere. You were just in the tunnel and you were playing the game without having to move anywhere. Batman was the same for me, though. You teleported to different bits, but everything you did was kind of like you moving around. Location-based experiences kind of thing, isn't it? That's what we're talking about. That's, don't stick them in a roller coaster.
No.
My mom got in a roller coaster once because I was showing my dad and he thought it was cool. So my mom, the first experience in VR, wanted to do a roller coaster, and she sat down and she was on there for like 2 or 3 minutes, and that was all she could do, and then she was done.
Well, we got some
no car games either, no racing games if you're new.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. We got some fantastic suggestions here, and I agree with all of them actually. Ninja Legends. That's another one. Super Hot, absolutely.
No, I disagree with that. Super
Why?
Hot's extremely intense, dude. Someone starts shooting at you. There's guys up in your face.
Oh, you're seeing
dodge,
it. You're
jump.
saying intense. You're thinking. I'm thinking intense as in VR sickness, and you're thinking intense as in gameplay.
I've watched people start running playing Super Hot, literally start running because they are so immersed, and they just take off, bam, into the TV, bam, into a wall. I think Super Hot is like,
Saw that. Yeah.
Here. After I get you comfortable, I'm like, okay, now are you ready? Because this game is more intense.
You can break stuff in Super Hot for sure.
Yes, you can. I don't
hands, controllers, TVs.
Yeah. We got Ghost Giant, real VR fishing.
Moss is another one of my favorite ones.
11
Real VR
table
fishing is
tennis.
phenomenal. Oh, 11. Yeah, that's a good one.
Just throw them into Windland. Do you know, Steve, I'm glad I read all that comment. I saw Windlands 2 and I was going to go, no way. But he's actually saying that as a joke. So, yeah, fair play, man. I was like, Grumpy Duck says, Vader Immortal was my first game and a great experience to have. Wow. So you're pretty new to VR then, really, if that's Your first one. That's
Wow,
cool.
damn,
Yeah, Vader
you are
Immortal.
new,
Did
man.
that have
Yeah.
free locos? Yeah, it did have free loco. It didn't have smooth turning though, I don't think.
No, but the weird thing it had was if you for first timers, this was my problem with that game is people would step just outside of the play area and everything would go black and they would just see that square that said, please move back into the play area. And it would really frustrate new players as well. So
I agree
just keep
with
that in
that.
mind.
Yeah, for sure. Another great one as well. We had Moss. Yep, fantastic. Down the rabbit hole, especially down the rabbit hole actually, because you manipulate the world by grabbing all the branches and stuff. I think that's absolutely fantastic.
One that is really good too is especially for people that have.
Cirillo said VR Paradise. Like, if you know what that is, just quickly search it up on Steam. Oh, dear.
One that I think is really good for, especially for people that may be a little bit older, like my dad is in his. I don't know how old my dad is. I think he's like in his early 50s. But he is a golfer, and especially with the new update to Pro Putt, just going in and playing at the driving range, essentially, that's a really good one. I showed someone the other day that was new to VR, the Quest 2, and I had them jump into that, and they spent like an hour just hitting balls at the driving range.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because it's just so simple, and you don't move around. You literally just stand there and keep hitting golf balls.
On PC, the lab. There's a lot of cool lab experiences, like where you get to see the solar system and stand there and see the planets going around the sun, and you get the sense of scale. And there's just a lot of cool experiences there that don't really move the player that much. So it's a lot easier on new VR players.
Absolutely. I hope that's helped some people. So let's move on now to Skeever's segment about the Qualcomm 888. If he wants to talk about that.
Absolutely. So guys, your Quest 2 is now junk. We now have a new processor. No, I'm just kidding. It's not, but Qualcomm did come out with another processor, the 888, which is the 2021 flagship chipset, and it will be going into new smartphones next year. So I'm sure, it'll maybe trickle down from there to VR, hopefully. But it claims that the new GPU is 35% more powerful than what's in the Quest 2, which is wild, right? Like when I saw, when the Quest started getting big, I started thinking, well, how is this ever going to compare to PC VR? But man, these chips get smaller. They get better with heat. And they just keep getting faster, and it's blowing my mind what these guys are doing, right?
Yeah.
So it's let's see. It says reports have suggested that the new chipsets could go over 50% more than its predecessor. Wow. So if this is true, it means may not be suitable for consumer VR devices, but we'll see. We didn't think that we were going to get the XR2 when we did, so. You just never know. It's hard to know when you have a company that has the backing and the passion to bring VR out like Facebook does and is willing to put the money behind it. So, I mean, I don't know. One of the things that I've been hearing is that, maybe they'll put a new headset out next year because they put the Quest 2 out within a year and a half of the Quest 1's original release. The way I'm tending to think about it, though, is that I think the Quest 1 maybe was more of like something to throw out there to see how many people would bite. And then if they got a good response, then they would like go all in, and I think that's what happened with the Quest 2, because the Quest 1 was always sold out. So they really put all of their eggs into the Quest 2.
Yeah,
so,
they push the marketing. Like Oculus do marketing.
Yeah.
PlayStation have done excellent marketing in the past, but I've never seen anything like Oculus. Like,
yeah,
it is on par with Xbox and stuff. It is just
they're everywhere.
They are everywhere.
I see every place I go, I'm followed by ads for.
But that's us too, right? Like, aren't we got to be targeted,
Yeah.
Sometimes I won't even see an ad for something until after I start using it. I'm like, man, you guys
Yeah.
are too late. I already bought it. Like, why are you advertising this to me still?
So suddenly it's Bradley. It said the XR2 is 865. XR3 will probably be 888. Gotta wait for XR3 probably before we start talking about Quest 3. Yeah, and the other thing is, as he says, if it costs 50% more, that's... I don't know. I mean, does anyone know the price of a Quest 2? Does anyone know how much that headset costs to manufacture to what they're buying them for? Because in my mind, I think they're making a loss. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, and I think to myself, you know, because I was talking to someone, they said about the 50% cost, and that, you know, that means, oh no, that's not going to happen. But if they're out to dominate, they are definitely out to dominate this, and you know, become
Well,
the
Sony
PlayStation.
Sony and Xbox both do the same thing. They take a loss, especially initially on the hardware, because they make all their money in software. And right now, Oculus is starting to kill it in their closed ecosystem, and developers are starting to finally make some money, which is great because you know it's hard for developers to be motivated to make games if they're not making a little bit of money and being able to feed their families, right?
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Dude, not only that, randoms are scooping up Quest 2s, man. Like I'm getting hit up by like the friend that I haven't talked to since high school, and like the family member who shouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, because your real name is Alex VR, isn't it? So people are like, VR?
Yeah, my last name is VR.
Like, I remember Alex VR. That's cool.
I was born with the headset on and the 5 wands in my hand.
You must have done a time
It wasn't the umbilical cord, it was the link cord. It was a link cord.
It actually was the VR link. It was the VR link. That's where this podcast got its name.
Alex's birth.
Yeah, it was my birth.
Amazing.
So anyway, yeah, people are buying this, you know, and I'm having random people who are not gamers, like they're starting to happen. People are buying this as gifts. That's the thing. Like someone sees it and they think it's sweet and they buy it for someone else. Like that person didn't go out and get it. They're about to have it forced on them. And it's just gonna
Well, that comes down to the pricing too. People are more likely to gift it. That $299 price tag, I mean, it's still high for some people for a gift, but I mean, you think about the fact that for Christmas, there's probably going to be a lot of people getting a Quest 2 for a gift that wouldn't normally get one because it's $100 less than even the previous version. And
it just seems like something cool, you know?
Yeah,
like,
right.
yeah,
yeah.
maybe they might like this. Shit, they get everything else they want, you know?
Yeah,
like,
right. Exactly. Yeah. So
That's what I
like,
find it really hard when people are saying like, should I get the Quest 1 or the Quest 2? And it's like, how can you recommend a product that is inferior and more expensive? It just doesn't seem like a question that should happen, but it was still happening.
Speaking about, like you mentioned, Alex, people that you never would have thought of getting a Quest. It's funny because just a while ago, this was about Quest 1, but even more so with Quest 2, I've had a few people reach out to me. I had a guy I graduated from college with. I hadn't heard from him in like 3 years, and he messaged me on Twitter and he's like, "Hey, dude, I have a friend that got a Quest," and he said to me, "You got to get one of these things. Check out this guy's YouTube channel." and he said, lo and behold, I jumped on and it's you. That is the YouTube channel. So I thought that was crazy. Like it's all full circle. I graduated the guy with a guy for video production, and all of a sudden 4 years later, actually it must have been 5 years later then, he said to me, "Hey, I found you on YouTube because a friend of mine was watching you and wanted me to get a Quest." So it's just spreading. People are talking about it even more so with the Quest 2.
Man, have you guys been in Population 1 in the initial screen where everyone's shooting at each other, right? And you hear these people that's their first VR game. Like they picked up a Quest 2, they're in Population 1, and they're just floored, man. They're blown away. They're in there going, "Oh my God." Like that is my favorite thing to watch people's VR cherries get popped. And sorry if that's offensive, but like, oh my, I can't, it's the best thing ever, man. It just blows my mind. It's so much fun. And I can't wait after this Christmas to see all the people going, "Oh my God."
I just remember virtual reality for me was like in 2016, I went to try PlayStation VR and Oculus was at the same event and HTC, and I didn't try them because I knew the cost. I had a PlayStation 4 at home, and for £400, I could walk away with a VR headset and some games and stuff. And I was like, well, how much is this headset? How much is that headset? They were like £500, I believe, or something at the time. And then you needed a PC on top. And that Tech Club is saying $299 for a Quest 2. That is a PC VR headset as well. That's the crazy thing.
The whole package.
Yep. That's why it's a gateway drug to me. I mean, you're going to get somebody on a Quest and then they can own that for 6 months and be like, okay, now I can get a PC, and then they've got it already set up.
Yeah,
it definitely is. It's a gateway drug for sure.
Talking about PCs, like we're going to quickly touch on the NVIDIA 360 Ti that come out. £369 for a graphics card that is the equivalent of a 2080. It's like, I don't know, a year ago, this was so different. Yeah. A year ago, it was so different. It was so expensive.
Well, at the beginning of this year, it was different. I paid $800 for my 2070 Super.
Oh, you're
beginning of the
bummed
year.
now, huh?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I got the
2080 Super.
2080,
Sorry, it
yeah.
was a 2080.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
still, though, at the beginning of this year, they were still selling for like $7,800 for that 2080 Super
Yeah.
or whatever it was. Or no, it's a 2080 Ti technically, I guess. But still, you're gonna get a 399 in US dollars for this 3060 Ti that, I mean, for the price, blows that one out of the water as far as pricing goes.
Yeah.
It's less than half of it. Now I feel bad. Just made myself feel bad about buying.
I wish I would have got a 3080. I got a 3070. It's a bit better than the standard 3070, but I wish I would have waited a little bit longer. But I was just so like desperate to get something else because trying to do mixed reality videos on a standard 2070 was tough. You know, it was tough. VR is so demanding.
This is why it's such a huge deal for so many people, I think, to get this shit on day one. You know, like, because if you don't get it, like, if you need to get it on day one to maximize your investment, if you wait a day, you're losing money, you know, because every day after that thing comes out, you are one day closer to its upgrade coming out. And that's exponential, you know, like we're seeing this stuff happen like on the year. So it's like, if you don't get it on day one, you might as well wait for the next thing to come out with how fast these things are upgrading.
Yeah, that is quite true.
Well, it's a beautiful thing, man. I mean, you know, I used to demo people VR all the time, you know, and people go, "Oh my God, this is amazing. How much is this thing?" And I'd be like, "Well, you know, you can spend like $500 on a headset. You need like a $2,500 PC." And they're like, "Yeah, I'll just come over to your house." You know, now I put a Quest 2 on someone and they're like, "How much is this?" $299, and like walk out the door to go to Best Buy, you know. So it's huge. And now you can get, now with the gateway drug being the Quest 2, now they can go out and they can go, "Oh, I can upgrade my PC for a couple $100 and make it VR worthy and play games like Asgard's Wrath." It's huge for this industry.
And if somebody wants to build their own PC or even buy a pre-built, they can get in with the Quest. They can get into it for like, you know, close to $1,000-$1,200 if they get a moderate PC to play decent games. You know, $1,500 would be really doing pretty well. So like I bought a laptop just for that sake. The laptop was $1,000, so that's $1,300. You've got a laptop that's got a 2070 Ti in it, or 2070 Super in it, and it runs everything beautifully. So for what used to be $2,500 for a laptop and then another $500 or $600 for a headset, it's now $1,300, and you can have a standalone headset and a PC VR headset that goes with you wherever you want.
You've got GT over there making content with the Quest 2 when he's got a Reverb G2 sitting next to him. And you've got Skiva jumping into Population 1 every single day while he's got a Valve Index chilling, collecting dust next to him. So it's like, dude, the proof is in the pudding. You know, these are
the controllers,
these guys use
yeah,
VR
that's the other thing. Everything, the controllers, man. Honestly,
I love the Quest 2 controllers.
They're so robust and they're so like energy efficient. And
well, I told my wife I used to go. I had some rechargeables before I had rechargeables, though. I had to keep a box of batteries on my desk because creating content with Quest 1, I was swapping batteries every week. It seemed like, you know, at least every couple of weeks. You know, I'd play for 8-10 hours and the batteries would be down to 50% or less. I'm like, man, alive, I got to change these because I don't want to run out in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
And then with the Quest 2, like, I play nonstop. I could play nonstop, and they don't ever seem to run out.
Yeah,
I haven't changed mine. Mine are still in there.
I'm on my second. I have changed mine now. So let's move on quickly. We were talking about PSVR earlier. Do you guys? We got the trailer running now. Farpoint. Do you remember Farpoint on PSVR with the aim controller?
Yeah, love that game.
One of the best PSVR games ever.
Yeah, and the aim controller.
Yeah.
The aim controller. I want a PC version of the aim controller. I want. If anyone's going to do it, it'd be Oculus, because I do like ProTube, but I just don't find it as a competitive thing. And I don't mean that from accuracy. I just mean it from messing around to reloading. I just don't think I'm that sort of gamer to be that involved in that. You know, I find it quite difficult to embrace it. As the aim controller, I just remember it being very straightforward, very simple, and it just felt like a gun DualShock. You know,
well, check this out, right? So there's a book called The History of the Future, and it's all about how Oculus came up and came to be, and it's a phenomenal book. You guys should check it out if you haven't already. But in that book, they talked about how Oculus, before they were Facebook Oculus, they were bringing out a gun controller, and then Facebook bought them, and then they squashed it because they're like, we're not going to sell anything that's like a gun, which is crazy because they're making a headset that's murder simulation, but they won't give you like a gun style controller. It's really, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but they did squash the original PC VR aim controller. So
Midlife, you have go on, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, go
ahead.
Matt.
Okay. I was just going to say that maybe as time goes on, if they start to see with games like Medal of Honor and like Population 1 and things like that, if there's room for it and it'll make them some money, then maybe they will finally look back into it again.
Yeah, just to go back on the Quest thing as well. The other thing is, as well, you can grab these off the shelf. And I've seen them in tech stores, like demos, you know, like when I was a kid and you'd see Mario 64 or something running up on the screen. You see a Quest sitting there with like a pulsating purple light and stuff. You'd be like, what the hell is that? Straight away, you know, and you see those cool games like POP1, like the trailers recently as well have been.
Oh, yeah, crazy.
Again, they're very aggressive and very good. And what they're doing.
To me, Quest 1 was like their test. Like,
yeah, that's what Steve was saying.
Is this going to be as popular as we thought it was going to be? And then you've got Quest 2, and now they're all out for marketing, like you're saying, because it's the Quest 1. They did a lot of marketing around Christmas last year, but nowhere near the amount of money that's being pumped into what they're doing with the Quest 2, which again makes me think it could be another year past this next one before we get another iteration. I think that they not jumped the gun, but the Quest 1 was their like, let's try this and see how well it actually goes. Now Quest 2 might last another year, a year and a half or 2 years instead of that 12 months or whatever it was, or 16 months, I guess it was for the Quest 1. We'll have to wait and see, but that's my thinking on it anyways.
So yeah,
I think that's what they're doing, but
sorry, go on, Skave. What was you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, I think that's their game plan, but nobody really knows. I mean, you know, I think it pisses people off too when they, you know, I have some buddies that were, you know, 4 months in with the Quest 1 and already there's a new headset and they're, you know, really aggravated and mad about it. And I understand. I mean, you know, you paid $500-$600 for a headset and now they come out with a better one that's cheaper. What a kick in the kahunas to the people who just bought it. But at the same time, that was a very small fraction. And there were, you know, we were right in the midst of this virus going on, right? And it stopped production and it was hard for screens to be made and processors. So I hope this is what, you know, I hope it really takes off this time.
I'm pretty sure.
I also want to mention too that I use both of my Quests all the time. Like I use my Quest 1 as like my workout machine, and because I play Expert Plus Beat Saber, and 10 minutes in and I'm literally dripping sweat, like soaked. And I'll do this 4 or 5 times a week. And I soak this headset 4 or 5 times a week in my bodily sweat. It's disgusting. All right. Let's just keep it real. And I don't want to sweat in my Quest 2. So I actually play like POP1 and like clean games on my Quest 2.
Okay.
Quest 1 is like a workout machine. And I love it. I love having both. So I don't think it's a loss.
I still see the original Quest though selling secondhand for 200.
Yeah.
So,
which is just, I think that's a great deal.
I
would get it.
Yeah, I mean, the only difference really, apart from the comfortability, I guess, but then I wish they would have kept the same strap from the Quest 1 and put that on the Quest 2. It would have been amazing. That would have, that original strap was fantastic. I don't know who made that choice. That was stupid.
Yeah, and the original on the Quest 2, that rubber band one, I hate it, man. I hate it. And you know, and then I got the Elite battery strap, and then it broke, and then I had to go back to the rubber band one, and I was like, oh my god, now I hate it even more. But you know, they got me my replacement really fast though. I was really surprised. So I have another Elite 2 strap.
You haven't had any issues with the replacement?
Not yet, but I've only had it for about a week, and it took a little while for the first one to break. So
I'm wondering if they made adjustments to it and then started shipping it, or if they just started reshipping the same thing.
I don't know. Go on. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say it was unavailable for a while on their website. So I don't know if they made any changes to it, or if they're just sending additional stock that they have the same thing out to people, hoping it doesn't break.
Yeah, so my one was I pre-ordered. Well, I pre-ordered one. Oculus said they were going to send me one. They never sent me one, so I cancelled the pre-order. Then I tried to reorder again, and it was like, no, you can't get one. They're unavailable. It didn't say it was out of stock. It said unavailable.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And then randomly, about 2 weeks ago, it just suddenly come through the post. And I was like, oh, right, okay. And everyone was like, is that the new one? I was like, well, I don't know. I don't know how to tell. No one's said to me, look for a serial number or a batch number. I wouldn't be able to say. So, anyway, on to Impulse Gear. Farpoint itself was a PS4 exclusive first-person shooter and the first to make use of Sony's rifle-shaped aim controller. I do believe, actually, they were involved in making that. That was part of their thing. It was Farpoint and the aim controller were developed together. Basically, they put out a tweet the other day or a message basically saying you'll be hearing a lot more from us over the course of the next couple of months. And in the meantime, stay safe, remember, survivors keep moving. So it sounds like they are working on something new, which is great because that might mean it'll be a PSVR 2 game, which is absolutely fantastic. Moving on to the next bit, the Marvel Powers United story. Are you guys, is anyone affected by that? And does anyone want to talk about it?
I personally am not affected by it. No.
Right.
I'm saddened by it because it just wasn't the game that it could have been. But other than that, no, not really.
No.
It was huge, man. It was one of the biggest games at the time. It took, it was like 60 gigs or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so I remember seeing a lot of YouTube videos about it. And as we know with YouTube videos, you can make things look a lot better than probably what they are. And when I played the game, it was just like a wave hitter. And I was like, damn. The actually coolest bit is the very first bit when you're in Captain America and stuff and you go through that big level. And it feels like you're going to play a story. And then it's not. It's like down to you to make the game. And I didn't find it very appealing. But basically, it looks like Oculus Rift exclusive Marvel Powers United could be shutting down in the near future. It says could, but it sounds like it definitely is. A Reddit user posted an email from Facebook's Oculus and Powers United developer Sanzuru Games, saying the time has come for us to say goodbye to Marvel Powers United VR, adding that the game will no longer be playable from March 1st, 2021. It also claims the game has already been removed from the sale of the Oculus Rift store, and it's not there, they can't find it. They also wrote, and this was the bit, we recommend that you delete the game prior to March 21st, 2021 to avoid dead space taken up on your device. The supposed email concludes the game did have a single player mode, but it only activated if you couldn't find people online and then replace them with AI. To say that, like literally it's dead wood. Like there's no point having this installed. I was like, wow, that's a big statement.
To me, that is a big deal from a content standpoint, like from ownership standpoint. We already know that if we own something on Amazon Prime or whatever, if the availability changes, we could lose it even if we paid for it, really just renting it. That's happened to me before where I bought a television show or a movie and then all of a sudden it's no longer on Prime anymore because they don't have the access to it anymore. And then the money I paid for it's out the window because it's just no longer there.
Messed up.
Yeah, it is. But Hussein X actually just said in the comments, I haven't seen it, but he said Road to VR has an article saying that Oculus will issue refunds for the game upon request.
I will refund mine.
Yeah, so if that's the case, that at least they're honoring the price of the for people that bought it, because that's really not fair for it to just disappear from your library essentially and not even become available to play. That just doesn't, you know what I mean? So it's definitely, if you can get a refund on it, it's better to do that than just have it sit there and not be able to play it.
That game came out at like, what was it, like 40 or 50 bucks? It was like super expensive for a VR game for its time. Yeah. And then it disappointed and used a ton of space. And like, I think you should have to put in a mode where if you take down your servers, the game's still going to function. I mean, to me, it's like, imagine if you bought a car or something and they're like, oh, we don't support this car anymore. And they come and repo it. It doesn't make any sense, man. I bought that. You know what I mean? It's So
I think for the owners of the game, absolutely. I agree with you entirely. But I actually am kind of like, as I'm hearing you guys talk about this game that I've never played, it's sounding to me like this is a good thing because Marvel carries such a presence, right? And they're going to go onto the store and they're going to see a couple of games sit next to each other. They're going to see Star Wars, they're going to see Marvel, and it's like, holy shit, these are my favorite things in the world. And then they're going to get Marvel and it's going to suck. And that's going to make them think that VR sucks when it doesn't. So we actually need those people who love Marvel to make sure that whenever they try that first Marvel VR experience, that it actually blows their minds, because we need them to really see what's going on here.
So sorry.
Oh, JT, go ahead.
I was going to say, the one thing I don't get is this has kind of happened before with a game that Voice Citizen brought up, was called Starblood Arena. And that game was also a PS Plus game. So a lot of people owned it. And the servers shut down. But the difference was you could still play against the AI. Now, when I played Marvel Superhero Powers, or whatever you want to call it, I only played against the AI. So I'm quite confused by this whole thing. Why would they want to refund people when they could just say the offline mode's gone?
Yeah.
And just shut down the servers? People are kick off, and then they get maybe a bit upset or something. But I'm listening to you guys, to offer a full refund and actually wipe the game out of existence.
Yeah.
Is it a license thing? Is it?
Yes, that's what I would guess. It's probably a licensing issue, that they probably lost the license and couldn't re-sign for the license for it to continue it on, maybe based on the performance, or the original license said this needs to do this much, or this much. Maybe people need to buy it in order to be able to continue on the license for the game.
Yeah.
But like what Skiva was saying, it's possible that it is a performance thing. So Marvel's like, this is not what we wanted to represent. Or Alex, actually, you said that, right?
Yeah.
This is not what we want to represent. The Marvel, out there in the VR world. Look what the people did with Star Wars, because that's Disney too. Same thing with Marvel. And we don't want this brand having this name if it's going to be the only VR Marvel game that people see. See, what I want is, I want a Marvel game that is even comic book art style, cell shaded, which I'd be totally happy with, because that fits the type of game. It doesn't need to be ultra realistic. I'd love to have a VR game like the Spider-Man game on PS5, but right now that's super unrealistic with what we're able to do in VR. So I'm totally happy to get a comic book art styled, cell shaded game that allows me to swing around as Spider-Man, fly through the New York City as either Iron Man or the Human Torch, all something fun, story based, that I can become one of those characters, a lot like what they did with Iron Man on the PSVR, although I'd love them to see a more open world version of that, where you're able to explore the city and stuff. But that's what I would like to see.
Yeah, so I'm assuming maybe there's a new one coming out and they don't want people to get mixed up.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that when the new game
If
comes
you'd already
out,
said that,
that's the
I
only Marvel
apologise. I
game.
don't know if I missed that.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
Nope.
It's just the only Marvel game that they're gonna want you to have to choose from. It's like, you got the Marvel game, it's good.
Yeah.
There's got to be
Well,
that much
Cinzaro.
money involved. There's got to be that much money
Cinzaro,
involved.
what's up, Cinzaro? Like, you guys were a good developer, and you put that out, and it's a bummer.
It looked great. It did look great, and I
Looked
think
good,
it was
but
a Dark
looks aren't
Angel or
everything.
someone was saying it's pretty cool. Like, you could select characters, and
Yeah.
there was like a big range of them as well. I can't remember Spider-Man being in it. I'm sure Spider-Man was.
He was in it. He was in it, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
couldn't like swing around. You could just shoot
Yeah.
your webs out at people.
Oh,
It wasn't
okay.
like, yeah.
I mean, it was.
It's
I think
kinda
that it was an Oculus game, right? Oculus Studios.
Yeah.
And I think it was really meant to be a system seller at the time, because they bundled it with their Rift, right?
Yep, they did.
Oh, wow.
So it just didn't turn out the way they wanted it to. And I imagine if it's an Oculus Studios game, it has less to do with Cinzaro and them shutting it down and more to do with Oculus. Because my guess is that with the popularity and the success of the Star Wars games that they've had, they probably renegotiated their licensing deal with the Marvel IP to create something different and better, maybe story-based, like they're doing with the Star Wars stuff. Because Oculus is the one pumping all their money into VR right now, and the most out of everyone. So it would make sense to take an IP like that and you're attracting the sci-fi Star Wars geeks, essentially like myself now. Now let's get the comic book ones and say, look, you can jump into a comic. Imagine that coming next. That's a whole new audience to pull into virtual reality.
Yeah, Aspen Dark Fire said it. I was wrong about Starblood. It's unplayable now, and there was no refunds from Sony. So that's pretty amazing. Aspen Dark Fire said it lacked a story and depth. It was fun wave shooter of that time, and that makes complete sense. A lot of VR back in the day, 2016, 2017, was wave shooter based. A lot of stuff was about that, and I think that was more down to sickness and stuff. They were scared to make people ill. So let's jump into the next bit of news about Hinge. Have any of you tried Hinge? The horror
I
experience.
I'm a wuss, you know me.
Things.
Right. Okay. So I have tried Hinge. I got access to it probably about 2 weeks ago, quite early on, and I didn't want to make a video on it because it was really bad. Even though I know it would have actually probably done quite well, it was just horrible. It was a bad experience. I messaged them to say that the game needs optimization heavily. It was really poor, and I haven't got a crap PC. It's not amazing, but it's a 3070 with an i9, 32 gigs of RAM. It should run the game. Well, there's not even any options. there was no settings to mess around
Right.
with at all. It just chucked you into the game. And what they've done is, I think they did do an update because they said they were going to do it, and they wanted me to wait for like the next week to the Friday. They've done the update. I checked the game out. It does what everyone's moaning about now is better than what I experienced, and it is getting bad reviews. Like, it's an early access title, and it's getting killed because of it, you know. So the developer of the new released VR horror game Hinge is working on fixing performance issues right now with the aim of getting an update out next week. Hinge caught people's attention, including this is from Upload and ours, because we spoke about it on the show. It looked absolutely fantastic for its impressive visuals and VR-centric design. And yeah, like Upload said, they've tested it on 2 different PCs, found it exactly the same, and now the game holds mostly negative reviews because of it. It kind of, to me, is a little bit kind of deserved, because what you've done is, I know it's early access, but there was no reason to release it now. Like, what were you trying to accomplish with that without getting that testing done? I think the game is also like $20 or something. And it performs like crap, honestly. Like, that's the reason I haven't made a video on it still, is because unfortunately it just does not play well. It's not fun.
I really appreciate your honesty, GT, and to thank you for that, I'm gonna click the like button on this video right now. Because
Random
not
ad or
everyone
something.
keeps it real, you know what? And
Yeah,
here
this
on
is
the
true.
VR link, you do. So that deserves a like. And if you're
Yep.
watching, you should probably follow suit and click that
Mhm.
button.
Oh, cheers, man.
Clicky.
It's not nice though, like, because obviously we're all here to support VR. We've said this before, but I feel I think people benefit more from everyone just saying how it is, because I don't know, it's just better. It's just
I
easier.
agree.
It's
I
easier as
agree,
well.
because you can't, man, it's a bummer when you go and someone's like, oh, this game's great because they gave it to me. And then you buy it and, you know, and it's garbage, dude. You
Yeah.
got to keep it real, man. It's so important.
Yeah, as I said, Onslaught was awful. That was a horrible
Yeah. It was.
experience for me,
Yeah.
because I met the people who I played it with them at Gamescom. I was very excited for the game. Like, I was one of the, it was crazy. I was one of the people. It's almost like, because I make virtual reality videos, that I'm a different person to everyone else. Like you guys, we're still customers. You know, aren't we? We're still people who
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I
we're
spend
still
a
pay
lot of money
and
on
stuff
games, man.
sometimes. And, you know, admittedly, I don't buy a lot of games these days. You know, I get a lot of codes and stuff, but I still buy games. And it was bad. Like, it was just bad, and I was just like, crap. Because I wanted it to be amazing. Who wouldn't want, like you're saying, we're talking about Medal of Honor, another Walking Dead game which plays fantastically? Hell yeah, we're going to push the hell out of that. But just wasn't like that. And, you know, did you guys play that? Did you check it out? Did you buy it?
I bought it. I had pre-ordered it, and then I saw your video, and I was like, "Oh no,
was it mine?
Oh no,
I went
I
in there-
shouldn't have pre-ordered this game, man." But I liked, since Saints and Sinners was so good, and I'm wondering, right, if Saints and Sinners never came out, what would people's, you know, opinions be? I mean, I think it would still be kind of negative, honestly. But I played it, and I forced myself to play a good amount of it, and it was just, it's a wave shooter. You just, like, you go to a place, you kill as many zombies as you can until they come and pick you up. What kind of crap is that, you know? I mean, and to know that they took the co-op out of it, like, that was what was going to sell that game over Saints and Sinners, and then they took what was unique and good about it out of the game, and they left all the garbage. It was a bummer.
It was,
I-
yeah.
I tried playing it and I couldn't even make it through. I mean, part of it was some of the glitching that was happening and some issues I told them about that needed to be fixed with, like, the virtual desktop thing. It was not optimized to work with that already. I mean, which is fine, because that has a lot to do with some of the stuff that Guy does with his magic to make it work once the games are released. But it just wasn't designed to work with the touch controllers. So I couldn't even make it past the tutorial. And even going through the tutorial, I was like, this sucks. I don't want to play this anymore.
It was,
So-
yeah, it was a real, basically, and also I was in a very unique position where I was the first person to release my review by miscommunication. Basically, someone had been allowed randomly to break embargo. They'd said to this guy, "You can put your gameplay video out," and it come up on my feed. It was someone I followed, and I was like, "Hold on a minute, I've got another like 18 hours till I can do mine." So I messaged and just said, "You know, what's going on with the embargo?" And they went, "Yeah, content and gameplay is now lifted." content and gameplay. They never ever mentioned the word review in all our emails. So I was like, I didn't even question it. I thought, well, it's the same thing. Published it, and then I think I was playing Fortnite actually with my daughter, and 2 hours later it was like, yeah, we didn't want you to put the review out. And I was like, well, you never mentioned review. Like in all our emails, there's no words of don't put a review out, put a review out. It's just content and gameplay. And I did pull it, and then I put it back out. But it was a weird position to be in, because when you're the first one out there and you're saying something bad, dude, I was scared. Like I was going into Discords and not saying I was there, because people were talking about me, you know, and because no one else could play it. It was just my opinion, so there was no one else to even go, actually, yeah, I felt the same. It was such a weird position to be in, and I don't ever want to do it again, and I don't ever want to, you know, I would never intentionally break an embargo, obviously, it was just a miscommunication, and they did apologise, actually, but what a situation to be in. Oh,
I wonder if your review was like praising it, if they would have mentioned anything to you.
Someone else said that. A few people said that.
Yeah.
Like, if it had been
Probably
a good
not.
one.
Probably not.
Yeah, they probably would have let it fly.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a real shame, because they did update that game as well, and they fixed the knife thing, didn't they? Because a lot of things have changed. That game would have been good, would have been amazing in 2016. I think that's one of those things. In 2017, 2016, that would have been like, wow, this is amazing, you know, like you're actually in The Walking Dead, the music was there, all this stuff. But yeah, now, as you said, did Walking Dead change it? You can't help that. It's there. It has changed everyone's opinions. It's a fantastic game. There's no really any other games that feel so satisfying stabbing a zombie. It's incredible. I love flicking a knife around and stabbing a zombie in the head. I think it's amazing. It's an amazing experience.
And it's crazy. How did they get Saints and Sinners on a quest? Like,
Yeah,
and they brought over like 90-something% of the experience. I mean, they just crushed it, man. They crushed it.
Yeah, talking about zombie shooters as well. Talking about zombie shooters, around 1 in 10 VR players owns Arizona Sunshine, according to the marketing director Kim Ara. I don't know what his name is. I do apologize. When they launched Arizona Sunshine back in 2016, we hoped that it would become the game that it is now. Most recently, the numbers are around 1 in every 10 VR players owns a copy. So that is on multiple headsets. That could be on any different headset. The game generated for Vertigo $1.4 million in revenue in its first month of sales. Wow. And won our first ever Game of the Year award. That is crazy.
That was a fun game because of co-op. To go in there and be able to go through with your friends was so, yeah, it still is. It's still a great game, and they keep putting DLC out for it. That's really, really good. And nowadays, if you go into it on your PC and you crank everything up to like ultra settings, it still looks phenomenal. It plays phenomenal. It's a good game.
I thought the Quest 2 update made a difference. I really thought that.
I haven't played it on Quest. I bought it on PSVR. I bought it on PC, and I'm like, oh, how many times can I buy this game? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're the exception. 1 in every 10, and like 3 of them are you. Yeah, so yeah, but it's a great game, and I don't know of any other zombie shooter that's got the co-op and multiplayer, because you've got co-op in the single player, and you've got 4-player on horde mode. So I don't know any other game that's got these options, personally. So
definitely not on the Quest, at least. So on the Quest, it's probably done really well for them, because it's it's showing its age, because it is an older game, but that's not so bad for the Quest, because it was probably easier for them to port it based on the fact that it was an older game. And the horde mode is fun. Co-op's not bad. It's fun, but I like horde mode better than the co-op.
Yeah.
Especially when you got some people that you're, friends in there playing.
I always fancy playing the co-op though. I always fancy doing a game with someone, and having that experience. But I'm still waiting for that experience where you like have to patch each other up or share equipment. I want that Last of Us survival game where you're with someone.
It's like with Saints and Sinners. Can you imagine if it would have had some sort of co-op mode where you've got the bandaging thing, for yourself? What if your co-op person had fallen down and you got to grab their leg or their arm and wrap the bandage around them to revive them? You know what I mean?
That'd be sweet. That'd be really cool.
Absolutely. Are you guys fans of Phasmophobia? Are you fans of that game?
I enjoyed it.
That game scared the crap out of me, man. I can't even. I have a hard time with that game. Really hard. I went in that game like, okay, It's cool. I'm with a buddy. It's fine. Then my buddy died, and I was like, I don't want to move, man. I'm just leaving the house. And I can't even do it.
It's definitely the scariest game in VR.
I can't even finish the tutorial because it's by myself. Maybe if I was with somebody, I could do it, but I started playing the tutorial to get used to it. I was like, screw this. I'm not going in the basement, so I turned it off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I went in there with some friends, and it felt like going to a haunted house to me, you know. But like Resident Evil 7 felt like I was being chased for my life, you know. Like
True.
that Resident Evil 7 scared the crap out of me. That, in my opinion, is a lot scarier than Phasmophobia.
Really?
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Dude, Resident Evil 7 is so intense.
Do you remember the first time that girl comes up to you with the chainsaw and cuts you from your legs up while she's just like looking in your face, and oh god, that was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying with Resident Evil 7.
Oh, I remember fighting the man with the chainsaw.
Yeah, no, the very first thing that happens is that girl goes nuts and gets the chainsaw. And she chases you down, man, and when she murders you and looks you in the eyes while she's doing it.
Yes,
well, that
absolutely.
was scary.
I've got a video of my wife playing that. So we did a charity stream, and we raised over £1,000 for cancer research. And, and basically one of the goals was if we get to £1,000, she would play Resident Evil. And that bit is pretty much where the stream, after that bit, it ended because it was just, she was, I think, exhausted because she throws you against the wall, I think, and then she like stabs you in the hand with a screwdriver. Yeah. And my wife was going, why is she doing this? Why is she doing like it was genuinely happening. It was so amazing. And yeah, you're right. She does. She chops through your hand. That's right. I do remember that now. But yeah.
Phasmophobia. Very scary.
It is
fun.
And we're going to talk about the prison level. Haven't tried it yet. Hoping to stream it soon. Have you guys, would you be up for doing a live stream of Phasmophobia?
Yeah, let's get it. Absolutely.
I'll try it.
If I'm the last one alive, I'm just going to kill myself, though. That's the thing.
Just turn your headset off. That'd be fine. You don't need to go that far.
There you go.
Yeah, so so I didn't know this at the time. I went into Phasmophobia the other day just to take a look around the level. I say that, but I probably wouldn't have been able to. It's a new prison level. It's available in beta on Phasmophobia. So what you need to do is go onto your Steam, go to Phasmophobia, right-click on it, go to select properties, and then you need to select the beta tab. And then it does say it's an unstable build. And then you'll be able to access the prison level. And actually, specifically that level, because I think maybe you've got to then opt out of it again. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it, but it sounds like that's how you get to the prison level. So yeah, we're going to be doing a Phasmophobia stream. I want to do it with the Between Reality guys. I think that'd be absolutely fantastic.
Let's get in there. That sounds like fun.
Let's do some screaming.
Well, I can't say it sounds like fun, but I will try my best.
Matt, keep you safe, Matt. Don't worry. Just stick with me, Matt. I got you, dude.
Me and Matt are going to be hiding in the corner crying while you guys are like finishing the objectives.
I haven't done the training either, Matt, on my own. I've tried 3 or 4 times on my own, and I can't do it. I am honestly, that is what I'm saying. Resident Evil, I played it all the way through before I think I even had a channel, just on my own. And smashed it. And don't get me wrong, it scared the crap out of me. Like, it did. But I think I had like this babysitter, and he was like some heavy metal rock head. And I think I watched Terminator at like 8 years old, and Predator and Alien and stuff, you know. And he was just like, yeah, man, this is wicked. And I don't know, maybe it numbed me a bit. But yeah, Phasmophobia, for some reason, it just scares the crap out of me. I can't explain it. It genuinely scares the crap out of me. I shouted so hard in that game, it made my chest and throat hurt, swearing.
Wow.
I think one reason for me that it does that is because Resident Evil is an IP that I understand more, and I know that it's a game, even though it's terrifying. I never finished the game, but it's a terrifying game, and I can separate the fact that it is a game. Whereas with Phasmophobia, it feels more like I'm entering into some sort of alternate reality where I'm a ghost hunter and it's more realistic. It feels more to me like it's a simulator than it is a story-based game. So I think that may be part of it.
Yeah, and
that's a good point.
Resident Evil, you had the gun stuck to your face. Right. So that was kind of a detachment from the real world as well. So, but with having all the stuff, walking around with the flashlight, all the shadows work kind of like they should. It is terrifying. You open those stairs to the basement and you're like, nope, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Mysterion, thanks for joining us, man. He says, according to the Trello roadmap, that he's also coming to Quest at some point. So yeah, and also Population 1 is also planned to come to PSVR at some point as well.
Mm.
People don't really talk about it.
Nice.
Yeah,
What?
Nice.
yeah. I swear
Wow.
we've spoken about that, and they did say that is what is going to happen eventually.
That would be huge.
Yeah,
Yeah, big.
it would be massive. But yeah. So did you guys check out Pistol Whip 2089 DLC?
I have not had the time yet, unfortunately.
Me either. I really want to though.
It's all POP1's fault for me, man. Because if it wasn't for POP1, I probably would have tried a whole bunch of things.
So yeah, that leads me to just basically talk on my own again. I think it's absolutely fantastic. 2089. I couldn't believe it was free. I did in my video. I basically said that I didn't know how much it would cost because my communication 12 hours before was they would release the price at a later date, so before the release of the game. So at the time of doing my video, that to me said there was going to be a price, and then apparently I think it might have been Road to VR accidentally leaked that it was free, and then it was out there. So and then I was in a mad rush trying to message everyone going it's free, it's free, it's free. But how amazing that a story driven 5-chapter bit of content with boss levels, which I wasn't allowed to bloody mention, is free. Crazy. Like,
That is awesome.
it's
That's
so
amazing.
good, man. It's like
That's how you support a game, man. That's how
Yeah,
you get people to keep buying it. And those guys are amazing. And that game is fantastic. My legs were never in such good shape before I played that game.
I was going to say, what that does for me is that makes me want to invest in that developer again in the future.
Yes.
You're more likely to click that pre-order button. Like Cloudhead Games, oh shit, dude, they made this and they did that. Straight in there.
They're legit, man. They're a great developer.
They are.
Chris Stacey, I'm glad you mentioned that. He says the AI gun. So you haven't played it, but there is an AI gun in there that comes out of your leg like RoboCop, and you can like shoot multiple things all at once. It's
sick.
Dang,
I
that
can't wait
sounds
to play it.
awesome.
it is. It's really cool. I'm gutted. You need to stop playing POP1. I hate to say it. You got
Oh, man, that's hard. That's hard.
to give yourself
Love
a
that
break.
game.
You got to check it out. I reckon you can play through it in 30 minutes. You know. And I think it's definitely worth checking out. I love the music and I love the sound effects they did. So on to the very, very last bit of news. 1976, back to Midway. Did you guys see or hear anything about this game?
Yep, I watched you play it.
Excellent. That's good enough. Yeah, so that is basically, I think it's 1943. It was an old arcade shooter, a top-down shooter. I used to love games like this, like Bomber Raid and stuff back on the Master System. And then I was like, wow, dude, there's going to be a VR version of this game. It's also got multiple cameras. You select, I think, I can't remember what the actions are called, but you go into the cockpit or you play it third person. Absolutely brilliant game. A lot of people do want to try it. I think they're on the fence about buying it, especially for those people who aren't fans of Operation Warcade, which is what they made a long time ago, which was Operation Wolf, basically, wasn't it, in VR? And I take it everyone played that.
Yeah.
I
Excellent.
played it a little bit.
Yeah, cool. There's a demo available. They've just announced that there is now a demo on Steam for you to go and check that out. There you go, Les Marwick. Thank you, man. Yeah, I was just going to let everyone know. So go and check that out. I think it's really cool. I think it's nice to jump back into that old school gameplay, you know?
Well, I wanted to play it, so this gives me a good opportunity to try it, and then I'll probably end up buying it because I love that kind of game.
I love games like that too, and I'm surprised there aren't more games like that in VR. You know, I played that one in the lab, right, where you grab the ship and you got to dodge the bullets, and I'm like, this is a match made in heaven. Like, and no one else has really done anything since with it. So I'm excited to get into this for sure.
It's kind of like that. What is it? Shooty something overdrive or whatever it is on the Quest. That was kind of like that, and then they've got the new one coming out from the Pixel Ripped devs that looks kind of like that, where you grab the toy and you use that to fly around. So I like that kind of stuff's just cool.
I played that game.
Oh, did you?
Yuki?
Yuki,
called
yes.
Yuki?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like it's bullet hell in VR. You know, but it was good. Yeah, it was fun, and I enjoyed the experience. But that was at OC6. That was a long time ago.
So before we so basically we've gone. Someone's burnt the toast. I don't know what's happened. But before it's not smoke. We've got a smoke alarm that goes off by, well, you probably have as well, by heat. So and they
Yeah,
put it in the kitchen, and yeah, it goes off like daily. So we know they definitely work. Before we close the show, tell me a bit about yourselves, guys. Tell me about how you both got into virtual reality, and also tell me about why you've gone on to the point where you're supporting virtual reality in the way you do with all your free time and doing the podcast. So yeah, just take it away. Let me know about yourselves a bit.
Shoot
Alex?
first. All right, I'll go first.
Look how
So,
polite they are. Isn't that lovely?
yeah, I know,
you
right?
first said,
So, I was born Alex VR on my birth certificate. No, I'm just kidding. We already talked about that. But I really don't feel like I had much of a choice when I kind of got pulled into this VR world. And I feel like a lot of us who do what we do share a similar sentiment. Like, I knew that VR was going to be a thing a long time ago when I was messing around with my Nintendo Wii. And I saw that people, while they were hacking the Wii, had learned to use the sensor bar to unlock head tracking. And I saw people doing head tracking on flat screen displays using a Wii, where when they were moving their head, the targets were like shifting perspective in the distance. And I was like, oh my God, that's it. Like, I was like, head tracking, that's like the future of gaming. So I waited for some years before I had the opportunity to like really try VR. And the first time was like a PlayStation VR. And long story short, it blew my mind all over the walls. And I thought, I was like, the future is here. You know, this is it. Like, the future has arrived.
yeah.
And I'm like running around and like shouting it from the rooftops. And like, I'd put the headset on somebody and pull the headset off and be like, I know, right? And they're like, it was cool. And I'm like, what do you mean it was cool? Like, that's the coolest thing in the entire universe. So like, it didn't take me long to realize that like my perspective of it was like far and beyond what a lot of other people were realizing. You know, like, I think those of us who are early adopters, or even I'm like a medium adopter, you know, see that there's some real magic happening here. And there's something that's way bigger than just games that's taking place. So once I realized that that not everybody knew that, and that like they need good people in this world, you know, like I was like, okay, that's done. I'm making content, I'm getting involved, I'm going to put myself out there, and I'm going to make this my life as soon as possible before the whole world catches on and realizes how amazing this is.
What about you, Skiva?
So when I was a little kid, I went to this future convention, and there was a VR experience called Dactyl Nightmare. And not only was it a VR experience, but my sister was with me, and she hopped in a second machine, and we saw each other, our bodies in VR, and shot each other in space. And oh my God, dude, that was the moment, right? And then Lawnmower Man was a huge obsession when I was a little kid. I mean, I couldn't wait till that day where I could get in and play some of those games of Lawnmower Man, right? And then the Oculus Kickstarter happened, and I couldn't afford it because I didn't have a PC, and I was like really into consoles at the time, right? So then the PSVR got announced, and I waited, and I saved up some money, and I got the PSVR, and man, I put in PSVR Worlds, and I played the London Heist. And then I called, I think, everyone in my address book, and I'm like, come over now, this is it, man, this is the future. And that was it, dude. I was sold. I was like, this is everything. Who wants to play a game looking at a flat thing, a window? Like, who wants to do this anymore? Look at this. This is insane. I just got shot by this guy, and I keeled over and was like holding my stomach. And I'm like, oh, I'm alive. You know, like dude, I called everybody, dude, for real. And I got everyone coming over and just demoing VR. And I'm like, people need to know about this. And people kept trying like those phone friggin' like, you know, it was terrible. The 3DOF phone ones. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. You got to get over here and check this shit out. And I knew this was the future, and it's just going to become bigger and bigger and bigger until it'll be weird if people don't play VR. And I needed to come out, like, just shout it from out my window and from mountaintops, and YouTube's a thing. So I'm like, man, I got to get on there. I can't hold in my enthusiasm about this shit. Like, I really am in love with this technology. I really am. So that's kind of my story.
Yeah. And then he made a subreddit called VR in AZ. We both live in Arizona. I found it. We met up. There you go.
Wow, is that how
Yeah.
you
That's
two met?
awesome.
Because you
Yep.
physically
Yeah,
know
he
each
was,
other
he
as
was
well,
like,
don't you?
I wanted to get this thing going, right? Where the Quest had come out. I'm like, this is going to be huge. Everyone's going to be renting like gyms and warehouses, and everyone's going to be running around shooting each other, right? So I made VR and AZ, and I wanted to meet people to play VR with. And I had my first event at this VR
he's so
location-based
sweet,
place.
Skeever, isn't he?
Yeah, and Alex was like the only one that showed up besides my personal friends.
Oh,
And we're sitting there, and Alex
wow.
is like, dude, we are the biggest VR fans in all of Arizona. Because if we weren't, they would be here.
Yeah.
So then I started like following Alex around in expos with a camera and filming some of his stuff for Alex VR. And then we just started having awesome conversations, and we're like, why not put this shit on YouTube and just get as many people in as humanly possible? And we've been dying to give away VR headsets because I really want to get people. I just want to be like, here, because to me, it's not like, here's a VR headset. To me, it's like, here's a portal to any dimension that you could possibly ever want to go to, in any situation you've ever want to been in. Like, here it is. I am giving you a universe of things. You know what I mean? And that to me is just so magical and amazing. And I'm so excited because now we're getting to give this.
Yeah, remember that,
Very
guys. If you're
excited.
new to this,
Very excited.
if you're new to this
That was a
stream of
good
this show, we currently have a Gleam giveaway of an Oculus Quest 2, plus 256 gig model as well. You've also, was there something else in there? Is it the strap or something? Oh, I can't-
The Elite strap. Yes.
Dude, that is a
Elite
massive
strap and
giveaway.
256 gigabyte model. Yeah.
So
It's
everything you
big.
need.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
on all our Twitter pages, and it's also in the description of the video. So definitely, you got to be in it to win it, man. You can always win it. If you've already got one and you already sub to us, just do it, and then because maybe someone in your
Give
family,
it to someone for Christmas,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, give them unlimited universes. Give them everything. I mean, what else could you possibly do that could be any better than that?
But I think whenever I hear these stories, there is so much truth to you need someone to get into VR to try it. That's
You do.
That's the important. They need to put that headset on and go, oh, this is not like a 3D film. It's more,
Dude, it's like going to some exotic location, right? And seeing waterfalls and all this beautiful stuff, and showing someone a home video and going, are you excited? Do you believe this? They're gonna go, yeah, it's all right. But to be there is so much different. It's so much different. And that's exactly what it's like in VR. You have to see it, you have to get in there, and it'll melt your brain.
Absolutely. And on that bombshell, guys, we have got to call a close to the show. Thank you, everyone in the chat, because, as we said, even though we put in our time, without you guys being here, it's not worth it. So thank you.
Definitely.
You know, thank you for loving VR as much as we do, and thank you for being here in the chat. Thank you to Skiva. Thank you to Alex VR from Between Realities. Thank you for being here, dude.
Thanks for having
Thank you
us.
so
man.
much, guys, and thank you for making this VR Link T-shirt available on Teespring. I love this
We
thing.
got to do a new.
And if I was you guys, I would go scoop one of these because I wear this bad boy proudly.
We've got to do.
We're
going to make a new one a little bit.
Well, I've got a surprise coming that nobody knows about, including you, GT. So give me another couple weeks, and I'll have something to show you.
Nice, excellent stuff. Yeah, man. Thank you ever so much for being on the show. Thank you, Matt, as well. Always here each and every week. And yeah, look at everyone. Thank you in the chat, guys. Really appreciate it, and massive respects to you all for being here. We're all here for the same thing. Just passionate about virtuality and trying to get hundreds of millions of people to try it, and then we can all have fun together.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
That's what it's all about. So look after yourselves. Stay safe. Thank you ever so much for being here again. And we will see you all. I'm sure you guys are going to be doing something. We are going to arrange the Phasmophobia stream. We've got a little Twitter page. We'll get that sorted between us. And hopefully we'll all see you soon in the metaverse.
Take care, everybody.
Take
Bye-bye.
care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.